isn't just sand. It's a living, breathing test of survival, where heat shatters bones, and silence hides death in plain sight. Flames of sunlight beat down relentlessly, shimmering like a mirage that promises life, but delivers only torment. Every step she takes sinks into the hot, shifting dunes, and yet, she moves forward, her eyes scanning the horizon. Camels, ancient masters of this unforgiving land, move with a grace that belies the brutality around them. Like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for more stories. Amira had always been a woman of quiet strength. She had already seen a world far removed from the comfort of ordinary life. She had come to document the life of camels, to prove that fear, no matter how fierce, could be faced head-on. The desert tested everything, soul, resolve, but she had learned to read its language, the whispers of sandstorms, the hidden water pockets. A lone camel, older than time itself, appeared like a ghost among the rippling heat waves. Its fur, golden and coarse, absorbed the sun. Amira approached cautiously. Every muscle in her body screamed tension, but camels sense fear before humans even speak it. Slowly, deliberately, she extended her hand. The camel's eyes softened, a silent acknowledgement passing between them. Amira's feet ached, and her throat was parched, but she pressed on, following a small caravan as the sun dipped lower. Every night, she camped under the stars, listening to the distant calls of desert predators, coyotes, or perhaps wolves, howling far off. Her journal became her sanctuary. She wrote of the camels' resilience, their ability to endure days without water. A sudden storm rose, sand whipping like needles. Visibility vanished. The camels huddled together, silhouettes of endurance. Then she saw Ita's shadow, rising faster than any dune. A wild stallion camel, nostrils flaring, muscles rippling beneath the sun-scorched hide. Amira realized what she had been chasing wasn't just survival, it was trust, and earning it demanded everything she had. The caravan moved again. They navigated the dunes like seasoned generals, revealing hidden valleys where shadows whispered secrets of buried water. Even as her throat burned and sweat carved trails down her face, she marveled at how camels conserve their energy with efficiency. Night came abruptly, an inky blackness swallowing the dunes. Amira huddled with her camel companions, their heat offering a rare comfort. Survival wasn't guaranteed. Every decision, every heartbeat mattered. She tightened her grip. The night would be long. As the storm settled, Amira realized the desert was no longer a place she visited, had become a part of her. In the heart of the great desert, the sun is not just a light, it is a merciless overseer, a burning eye that watches all. Amira moves through the shifting sands, her body a testament to endurance. Every step is a battle against the heat and the wind. Beside her, the desert's true masters walk with a calm certainty. The camels move like ancient sentinels, rhythmic and unyielding against the horizon. The air begins to tremble. At midday, the desert plays tricks on the mind, turning the horizon into a liquid mirror of impossible dreams. Amira's lips are cracked, her breath shallow. The silence of the waste is absolute, until a faint, desperate cry breaks the stillness. There, in a deep depression between the dunes, she finds a lost soul, a young calf, pale and trembling, abandoned by the wandering herd. Trust is the only currency here. Amira approaches slowly, her voice a low murmur that mimics the soft hum of the wind. She presses her palm against its heated coat. In this touch, a silent pact is made. Survival is no longer a solitary journey, but the desert never leaves a vulnerability unnoticed. From the long shadows of the rocks, a predator watches, waiting for a moment of weakness. The stallion senses it first. He stands as a towering anchor, his intelligent eyes scanning the perimeter with a fierce, protective gaze. One by one, the herd converges. They form a living shield, a humming wall of muscle and bone that defies the encroaching darkness. The danger passes, but a greater trial looms on the horizon. A rolling wall of ochre and gray begins to swallow the afternoon light. The sandstorm arrives with a roar. Light vanishes, replaced by a choking gold chaos that erases the world in seconds. Amira clings to the stallion's reins. She can no longer see her own hands, only the grit and the fury of the gale. Under the pressure of the storm, the very ground betrays them. A dune face collapses, and Amira is pulled into the sliding abyss. She falls into the blurring gold, the wind screaming in her ears. But the stallion does not let go. He hauls her back. They huddle together, human and beast, becoming a single breathing entity against the storm's fury. The herd protects its own. Hours pass in the howling dark. Then, as suddenly as it began, the wind dies. The silence that follows is heavy and profound. The storm has scarred the land, but it could not break their spirit. Amira emerges from the sand, a survivor once more. Night falls over the dunes, cold and vast. Amira sits beside her guide, looking up at a sky filled with 1,000 stars. She traces the constellations, the same ones that guided her ancestors. The desert is a harsh teacher, but its lessons are eternal. With the calf safe and the herd strong, she holds the reins tight. Her spirit is unbroken, ready for the dawn. For in this wasteland, survival is more than endurance. It is the profound bond between those who dare to call the desert home. In the heart of the great desert, where the sands tell stories of ages past, a journey of the spirit begins under the golden light. Amira stands at the edge of the world, her gaze fixed on the horizon, where the dunes meet the sky in an endless, shifting dance. The camels move with a rhythm as old as time, their measured steps echoing the heartbeat of the parched and silent land. They are the masters of this golden sea, guiding her through a landscape that demands absolute respect and total surrender to its power. But the desert is a fickle goddess. When the stars turn cold and the winds begin to howl, the trial of resilience truly starts. Midday brings a different kind of cruelty, a blinding sun that turns the air into a shimmering wall of heat, testing every breath. Then comes the roar. A sandstorm rises from nothing, swallowing the sun and turning the world into a chaotic, grit-filled shadow. In the chaos, Amira seeks shelter in the only place she finds safety, the warm, sturdy flanks of her silent companions. Her body is exhausted, her throat parched, but she watches the camels' calm endurance. They do not fight the desert, they belong to it. In the silence after the storm, a bond is forged, not of words, but of shared breath and the mutual understanding of survivors. The stallion looks back, a lingering gaze of respect. In this moment, they are no longer human and beast, but kin. Hope appears on the horizon like a silver promise. The oasis, a hidden jewel, shimmers through the heat, beckoning them forward. The herd senses the water. Their pace quickens, a surge of energy through the group as they race toward the life-giving spring. Water, the silver blood of the earth. Amira drinks deeply, the cool liquid a miracle against her sun-scorched skin. She documents the life around her, the ripple of muscle and the tender care of a mother camel for her young calf. As the sun begins its descent, the desert transforms again. Fiery reds and deep indigos paint the sky in a final, glorious display. Amira sits in quiet reflection, the wind whispering secrets she finally understands. She has been transformed by the silence. The herd settles for the night, creating a protective circle around her. In the vast emptiness, she is never alone. The desert does not break you. It remakes you. It strips away the noise until only the sacred truth of survival remains. Together, they move as one into the infinite horizon. A testament to the bond that can only be found in the wild heart of the dunes. The desert is a vast sea of silence, where the shifting sands hold the secrets of time and the true meaning of endurance. Amongst these giants of dust and light walks Amira, a woman seeking wisdom in a land that demands everything from those who enter. She follows the masters of this realm, the camels. They do not fight the desert. They flow with it, rhythmic and patient. Observe the curve of their humps, the steady rise and fall of their breath, and eyes that have seen 1,000 storms pass. To survive here is not an act of strength alone, but an act of profound empathy and understanding of nature's harshest lessons. The stallion leads the way. He is a tower of sandy brown fur and quiet command, a living monument to survival. Amira approaches with reverence. She reaches out, her hand finding the coarse, warm reality of a life built for the extreme. They find life where others see only thorns. With tough lips and unwavering focus, they turn the desert's defenses into their sustenance. When the sun reaches its zenith, the world stands still. Under the sparse shade of an acacia, the herd teaches the art of stillness. Amira sits among them, learning that endurance is as much about the moments of rest as it is about the long trek. In the heart of the herd, there is a tenderness that defies the brutality of the landscape. A mother's love is universal. Amira records these connections, realizing that survival isn't just about the individual, but the bonds that hold the collective together. Night falls, and the desert transforms into a cathedral of stars. By the small campfire, Amira reflects on the day's quiet lessons. At the hidden waterhole, the herd gathers. Even in the dark, they are vigilant, their instincts sharp against the shadows of the dunes. The peace is fragile. The desert is a temperamental teacher, and tonight, the air carries a different, heavy scent. Suddenly, the horizon vanishes. A wall of sand rises, turning the sky into a churning vortex of orange and gray. In the chaos of the wind, Amira finds her anchor. She presses herself against the stallion, seeking shelter in his massive strength. The world is nothing but the roar of the gale, but the herd remains still, a living wall against the elements. Minutes feel like hours. In this crucible, Amira learns the ultimate secret. Survival is not about fighting the storm, but enduring it. Dawn breaks over a transformed world. The dunes have shifted, creating a new, jagged landscape where the old one once stood. The herd stands tall, unscathed. They shake the dust from their backs and begin their trek once more, as they have for eternity. Amira prepares to depart. She is not the same woman who entered these sands. She carries the desert's wisdom in her heart. She takes one last look back. The horizon ripples like a golden sea, a reminder of the giants who call this place home. As her shadow lengthens in the setting sun, she walks toward the world of men, forever changed by the masters of endurance. For the desert is not just a place of sand. It is a mirror that reflects the strength we all carry within. In the heart of a city that never sleeps, Amira searches for a silence she once knew, a rhythm lost in the hum of neon. Her screen flickers with memories of another world, where the earth is gold and the sky is an endless canvas of light. The desert is not a wasteland, but a masterpiece of endurance, where every grain of sand tells a story of survival. Against the crimson sunset, a lone caravan moves with a purpose that transcends time, guided by ancient instincts and steady feet. Amira reaches out, her fingers brushing the cold glass of her camera lens, feeling the ghost of the desert sun's warmth. To understand the desert, one must look at its masters, the camels. Their very bodies are blueprints of resilience. Notice the uniquely shaped feet, designed to press firmly into the shifting sands without sinking, a lesson in steady progress. Their long eyelashes act as a delicate shield, guarding against the biting winds and the relentless sting of the dust. In the herd, intelligence is not just solitary, it is social. A mother's nudge is a language of care and survival. The stallion camel stands as a guardian, his scarred presence a testament to years of navigating the shifting horizons. Together they move in a synchronized sway, a living rhythm that matches the undulating lines of the dunes themselves. But the desert is a fickle master. Without warning, the air thickens, and the sky bleeds into a terrifying shade of orange. The storm arrives with a roar, grains of sand slicing through the air like microscopic glass, erasing the world in seconds. Amira is caught in the vortex, her modern gear no match for the raw power of the crucible. She is alone and blind. Then, through the haze, a mountain of fur and muscle appears. The stallion camel finds her, a beacon in the chaos. He nudges her toward the center, where the herd has formed a living wall, sharing their warmth and their strength. As the storm subsides, a new landscape emerges, shifted, quiet, and renewed. It is a partnership born of necessity. Back in the city, the chaos is different. Busy streets and digital screens demand energy, yet offer little reflection. Amira sees the parallels now. The desert teaches patience, and the rationing of energy lessons the modern world has forgotten. She remembers a lost calf, trembling under a sparse acacia tree at night, and the empathy that bridged the gap between species. Helping it find its way back wasn't just an act of kindness. It was an acknowledgement of our shared vulnerability. Now, she writes, her pen moves like the wind, carving lines of wisdom onto the paper, turning memory into a legacy. The textures of the sand she once walked are now the textures of the stories she tells, seeking to preserve what is fragile. We must protect these hidden valleys and fragile waterholes, for they are the lifeblood of the master navigators. Amira stands before an audience, her voice steady and passionate, sharing the echoes of the dunes with the world in need. The desert is timeless, infinite, and unforgiving, yet it offers the most profound lessons in resilience if we only listen. Amira returns to the sand, her figure a small but determined silhouette walking toward the rising sun. The wind continues its eternal rhythm, carrying the faint, rhythmic hum of the herd across the vast expanse. The desert is not a void. It is a library of ancient resilience, written in the shifting grains of golden sand. Among these dunes, Amira seeks the masters of endurance, the ones who have called this unforgiving heat home for millennia. She follows the lead of Roll_02, the guardian stallion. His calm presence is an anchor in the shimmering heat. To survive here, one must learn a silent language. It is a choreography of movement, timing, and profound patience. The herd knows the wind. They read the currents and seek the strategic shade, moving as a single, breathing entity. But the desert's peace is a fragile veil. Without warning, the horizon disappears into a wall of swirling dust. Fear is a natural response, yet the herd does not panic. They draw together, creating a shield against the abrasive wind. In the heart of the storm, Amira finds her resolve. She watches as trust becomes the ultimate tool for survival. When the air clears, the bonds are visible. Soft nudges between mothers and calves remind us that life persists through gentleness. Roll_02 leads them through the precarious rocky passes, navigating the terrain with a certainty born of generations. Amira no longer watches as an outsider. She has matched her pace to theirs, finding a rhythm that defies the clock. As night falls, the desert reveals its most profound secret. We are all part of a vast, interconnected tapestry. Her notes are more than observations now. They are reflections of a soul transformed by the wisdom of the sands. The legacy of the desert is not just survival. It is the grace to move forward when the path is hidden. Amira stands at the summit, her gaze clear. The journey ends, but the rhythm of the desert remains within her. In the end, we don't just endure the desert, we learn to become it. Even after the sun dips behind the horizon, the desert does not truly sleep. Its dunes continue to shift, its sands ripple with hidden currents, and its creatures move in rhythms imperceptible to the untrained eye. Amira had left the desert physically, but its pulse had become part of her own heartbeat. In the weeks that followed, as she sifted through hours of footage and notes, she realized that the story extended far beyond her personal journey. It was a blueprint for understanding resilience itself. The camels, she observed, were the ultimate teachers. Their endurance was legendary, but not merely because of their physiology. They had mastered patience, awareness, and subtle communication. Every step, every glance, every nudge was purposeful. They conserved energy, calculated risks, and relied on one another. Their survival was a lesson in foresight. the understanding that every decision determines the outcome of life. Amira reflected on the parallels with human challenges. Modern life, she realized, could be as unforgiving as the desert. Economic uncertainty, societal pressure, personal struggles all could feel like relentless dunes, threatening to bury those unprepared. Yet, the desert's lessons were timeless. Observation, patience, empathy, and careful action are as relevant to navigating a city as a barren landscape. The camel's instinctive wisdom could teach humanity how to endure not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. One night, reviewing footage of the herd under a sky dusted with stars, she noticed a subtle pattern. The camel's movements were synchronized not through command, but through mutual awareness. A calf hesitated on a narrow ridge, and immediately, a mother shifted, guiding it safely. The stallion positioned himself at the rear, ensuring no one lagged behind. This choreography was instinctive, yet revealed a principle. Survival is not solitary. Connection is strength. Cooperation is the foundation of resilience. And empathy is the compass that guides decisions when danger is near. Amira revisited the moments that had challenged her the most, the sandstorms that had nearly claimed her, the endless marches under a sun intent on burning her alive, and the nights when silence felt like a predator. In each trial, she had discovered hidden reserves of courage. The desert demanded awareness, not panic, strategy, not impulse. The camel's mastery was not magic, it was practice, discipline, and a deep understanding of their world. The desert revealed beauty, clarity, and wisdom. The camels embodied a balance between survival and grace, strength and patience. Their lessons transcended species. They were universal principles, applicable to anyone facing adversity. Amira began sharing these lessons. In her videos, she highlighted how camels thrive, navigating treacherous terrain and communicating without words. The desert had given her insight into endurance. Yes, but also into leadership, empathy, and the art of living with intention. True mastery comes from alignment with the forces around you, not domination over them. Camels survived not by battling the desert, but by respecting it, learning its rhythms, and flowing with its challenges. Amira closed her journal one evening, staring at the stars above her city in awe. The true treasure was internalized. She sought to inspire, remind humanity that survival is not simply a physical act, it is a mindset, a philosophy of patience and courage. Survival is not about enduring alone. It is about understanding, connecting, and moving with intention. The desert endures, the camels thrive, and humans, if they pay attention, can learn to navigate even the harshest of landscapes. The story ends here, but its legacy continues, the wisdom of the dunes, echoing in the hearts of those willing